What's up, guys? Before we get into this awesome interview with Maya McDermott, a quick word about our sponsor, Atlantic Bottling Company.
Yeah, yeah. Woo. Hey, Chad, give me some hydration. Yo, I got you, Brett. Water. I said hydration. Hey, that's my beat. Let me get you the good stuff. Body armor from Atlantic Bottling Company. Stay hydrated, my friends. All right, guys, welcome back to the Iowa Chill Show. It is November 24th. I'm Nathan Creeps, joined by my co-host, Mr. Bryce Bortscheller. We're due for a good conversation today because we are joined by the 37-point assassin herself. She was a Johnson Dragon in high school, but last week she was a slayer of dragons. Please welcome Miss Maya McDermott.
Welcome,
What's
Maya.
up, guys? Thanks for having me. I'm really excited. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's jump right into last week's game. How awesome was that at the McLeod Center?
It was so much fun. It was so electric in there. I mean, shout out to the fans and everyone who showed out. We just wanted to give a good show because we always say, what if that's the first time a UNI alum or a family member, a friend is seeing us play for the first time? What impression could we leave on them? So, I mean, I ran into some guy at Fairway. He was like, "I'm not gonna lie to you, Maya. That was my first ever women's basketball game, and you guys showed out. That was so much fun." So it's so nice to hear people say that, and we were excited.
Yeah, so I actually attended a game with my wife, and it was my first ever UNI women's game as well. And as soon as you set foot in the building, you could feel the electricity in the air. And that's just a compliment to women's basketball nowadays and where direction it's heading to. So right away, we were amped for this game. Audi Crooks is from my original high school, so I was pumped to go see
Hmm.
her in person.
Yeah.
And state of Iowa is so historical of women's basketball right now. When you think about the four universities, so you knew it was going to be a dogfight. You got the in-state rival coming in, and I'm not going to lie. There was times when you were dribbling that basketball, I couldn't even see you. You were clobbered with three defenders. All of a sudden, the ball would just go floating over the three defenders. It would go in every time. And my wife and I would just look at each other, our jaws dropped, like, "What? She did it again!" And then you definitely hit some unconscious level. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 5'6", as you can tell. I'm pretty small. Growing up, my dad was one of my biggest supporters, my inspiration, and he was my coach. So he would always tell me, yes, you have the three, you have the layup, you have the dribble J, but the floater is what's going to separate you. So I'd
Mhm.
always work on the floater before practice, after practice, envision myself in those big game moments of making these tough shots. So I believe it or not, I practice those and I always got the float game down. That's kind of my go-to. So it does kind of look like I'm chucking it up there, but I will admit I practice those in those tough situations like that. And it just so happens I gotta follow through and I make those. So that's just kind of what I do, and I'm very thankful they went in that night. Some nights they do not fall. Some nights I'm way off the mark, but it so happened to be that night everything was falling for me.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I said, you probably had a blackout moment. Do you even remember taking some of these shots?
No, yeah. So the media asked me after the game, what was it like? How are you feeling? It's first ever time a UNI's team had a UNI women's basketball team has beat a top 10 team, and I was kind of like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm blacked out. I'm still blacked out, celebrating right now. Like this is insane. It was so worth the hard work and everything we put into it.
Yeah, so first top 10 win for program history, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Man, University of Northern Iowa defeats number 8 Iowa State 87-75. And from right away in the matchup, what you can tell, obviously, Iowa State is dominant when it comes to their size. They were Big 12,
Mhm.
they're top 10. They returned a lot of talent from last year. And that tells me right away, you guys got to play with more, right?
Yeah,
You're a little, and right away, you guys were not just shooting the threes, but you guys were defending down low. You're a couple blocks on Audi.
yeah,
You could just play. To me, it reminds me, Mike Bryce. You remember Marshall Henderson
I do.
from Ole Miss? That's my.
Yep.
You kind of remind me a little bit about that tenacity he had. And I'm not
yeah,
saying you're cocky, but your confidence after you're like, you can just tell you were in the
yeah.
zone. But that's what you need to have in order to compete with these high, top five major conference teams. And man,
Absolutely.
that's exactly what you guys
So,
did that entire night.
Maya, what do you guys feel like you did well against number 8 Cyclones and specifically Audi.
Yeah, I think we flustered them a little bit
Yeah.
with Jibo Grace Buffelli going down. It was very emotional news of knowing what she did to her knee. So going, I mean, we lose a ton of size, a ton of energy, communication, and we lose ultimately in my head, one of the players of the year in the Missouri Valley Conference. So seeing her go down, super emotional. And then we go out and we had nothing to lose. It
Hmm.
was just that was our mindset. Flustering them early, getting the 50-50 balls, boxing out as best as we can because we do know that they have the size advantage on us. So doing those little things, we knew our shots were going to fall. We're playing on our home court. We have a great fan base. We knew all those things were going to come into play. But doing those little 50-50 things and getting those 50-50 balls, not 50-50 things, doing the little things and getting the 50-50 balls was like the determining factor. We had to turn it up a notch, and we had to turn it up even more with losing Jibo.
Absolutely. Yeah, I noticed, and we have a couple gals at the Cedar Falls office who are pretty big women's basketball fans, and they said
Hmm.
in some previous games you guys had quite a few turnovers, and in this game it was 14-7. You guys protected the ball
Yeah,
and obviously forced a few of those, so that's got to be another key to victory. But
absolutely.
when you play somebody like Audi, you're not
Hmm.
going to stop them, and I think teams approach Caitlin Clark the same way.
Same
What
exact
are
way. Yep.
some ways that you guys work as a team to really contain them instead of trying to stop them?
You used two words I was going to use. You can't stop them, but you can try your best to contain them. They're so hard to. You have these scouting report details that you can focus in on them, but they're such good players that offensively they are going to read the defense because they're just good players. So to contain um, Audie's great shooting ability and size, it's hard, but you have to do everything you can to frustrate them. Same with Caitlin Clark. It's so hard to do those things because they're such good players and they make really really good reads and they anticipate the next play, which is so hard to scout. Anticipation. You don't know what they're going to do. You can do your best, but both of them, credit to them because they're both very hard players to guard.
That makes me think, what you have the game plan for them. What do you think their game plan was for you? Because I feel like, I mean, for my fan love, they did a right job. Because like I was saying, like there's times I couldn't even see you, and the ball was just going in over them.
Right, right. That's a good question. I work a lot in the off season of I think I was just born with that anticipation and making reads. I was born to be a point guard and making those reads. But just yeah, my shot selection, I were just getting them to fall. It was just one of those nights where I was feeling it. And we want to continue to be consistent. Good teams that they can beat good other good teams, but great teams they stay consistent in winning, and that's our goal for this year is to be a really 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 great team.
Yeah, definitely kudos to you guys. Does Kata usually shoot those long threes?
Oh yeah, every
Really?
day in
Okay.
practice. Oh yeah, Kava's got range. It's funny because um so previous week before Iowa State, Kaba and I would say we're both not shooting very well. Like in practice, our shots weren't really falling. We do other shooting workouts together, and it was just kind of like you could tell we both weren't really hitting our shots. And we come out against Iowa State, and it was just really awesome to see her hitting those shots, and then um, being able to be the one to pass her some of those, and just seeing them fall because it all. I mean, a shooter just keeps shooting, and that's what the definition of her shooters shoot. And once you see one fall, you kind of get that flow going back. So it was really awesome to see her get her mojo back.
Yeah. Repeating again, UNI knocks out number 8 Iowa State 87-75. What has life been like for you since last Wednesday?
Yeah, a little hectic. I mean, it's I don't have class Monday, Wednesday, Friday at all, and then just two Tuesday, Thursday in class. So you don't really see me a whole lot out of my house on those days where I don't have class. So when I go to class, it's nice to see people. Hey, congrats on the win. Can I get a picture? It's a cool experience for me. I really enjoy meeting people or hearing people be so excited about women's basketball.
Yeah.
It's come a long way, and I'm just so excited that we kind of put UNI on the map, and that's our ultimate goal. I don't like to make it about me. Yes, I had a good performance, but for me, it's more we're doing this for Grace and we're winning these big games because our team's good and we have very good coaches. So
See,
yeah, it's
that's
really
so
cool.
refreshing, and I think that was one of our questions was what was the day like after on campus, and if it was me, it sounds like you weren't on campus, but if it was me, I'd be finding a way to go to class just to get all those pats on the back.
I did. I had two classes, so we played Wednesday. So Thursday,
Oh,
I
right,
was in
right.
class. I was in class. So I had a meeting in my first class. I didn't really see anyone because it was just a one-on-one meeting with my professor. And then the second class, I actually had a presentation, and I had a couple people say congrats, and professor emailed me. So it's awesome to just hear everyone be so excited about women's sports.
Yeah, like that was my next question. Did you go to class that day? So it's good to see that you're continuing your academics after beating number 8 Iowa State. But
Yeah, yeah.
I like the direction this conversation is going to. So we might as well jump into the growth of women's basketball. Let me tell you about my personal experience with this because
Yeah.
you're our first female athlete to ever be on this podcast. We used to do this show about 3 4 years ago. We had Luca Garza, Jordan Bohannon, a bunch of big time male athletes, and to be
Hmm.
honest, that's who we won at the time. All second, I say about 2 3 4 5 years ago was when Bishop Garrigan, where Audi Crooks is from, started making it to the state finals 4 years straight. And
Yep.
as a proud alumni, we went to attend those all the time at Wells Fargo. And that's my first time really sitting down and really enjoying women's basketball. It's so fundamental, so structured. I'm like, I love
Hmm.
this. And
Hmm.
Yeah.
from there, my growth, kept climbing here and out. And obviously last year with Caitlin Clark, and everything took a huge step. And all you guys really needed was that exposure.
Yeah.
And tell me about what a time to be a woman athlete, especially in the basketball right now here in the state of Iowa, where I think it's almost the epicenter for women's college basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. I This is a really like deep question for me because so I grew up in Johnson, Caitlin grew up in West Des Moines, went to Dowling. So when we were young, Caitlin and I are the same age. I'm a fifth year, but she chose to go to the WNBA. And we played against each other ever since we were little. So we play, I remember her team was called the War Dogs. We hated playing them. She was so good at that such young age. So we played basketball against each other, and then we played soccer together for Sporting Iowa. So that was cool to kind of reunite with her. I'm like, oh, this is Caitlin Clark. Like we knew the people around us knew who Caitlin Clark was, and I mean, you could almost honestly imagine her being a huge sensation because of how good she was when she was younger.
Sure.
So then we play soccer together, we play AAU together, and like I said, I mean, people AAU was a pretty big thing when we were growing up as well to get exposure. But it's just kind of like that woman basketball world. They knew about Caitlin Clark, not really the whole world, but they knew how good she was and was going to be. So when she comes to college and she has these unbelievable games, hitting these buzzer beaters, all that thing, she puts us on the map. She puts Iowa on the map, and then she puts women's basketball on the map, and you can't help but respect that. I mean, some people say, "Oh, she's got a bad attitude. She's flopping." I mean, bull crap. I mean,
Yeah.
she just put women's basketball on the map, and she's doing. I mean, she's an A-list celebrity. Look at all the things that she's done for women's basketball. So I can't help. She's a good friend of mine, and we stay in contact. But I can't help but say, look at what she's done for us, and look at what she's done for Iowa State, UNI Drake, just for putting the state of Iowa on the map.
Yeah.
And granted, we have other great players too on, you know what I'm saying,
Hmm.
on different teams. They're still great players, but it's the women's basketball world has just grown, and I credit her. I credit other big players, Angel Reese. Juju Watkins, Paige, AZ. So all those girls have worked so hard, and they do it for upcoming generations and people who've done it before them. So they do it for everybody, and I just couldn't be more excited of where it is now and where it's going to be down the
Yeah,
road.
Yeah,
I think like so much of basketball, it's 5-on-5. It's small. It's not NFL sized teams or soccer sized teams, and it's so star dependent. And I think kind of as Nate was alluding to, you just kind of need that breakthrough star to shine light on how fun the sport can be. And I mean, you're
Exactly.
seeing all of a sudden like soccer getting bigger in America. You're seeing women's basketball explode. Like it just takes a little bit of time investment and some of those stars to show like how cool the sport really is. So
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, Nate and I are both UNI Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
Graduated quite a few years ago now. What made
Oh,
you choose
sorry.
UNI, and was there ever a chance that you and Caitlin would have played together for the Iowa Hawkeyes?
So, UNI actually was my only scholarship.
Okay.
So it was my only offer. And I loved it here immediately. With my size and everything, I was just being realistic with myself. I talked to some people, my AAU coaches, and we were like, we think mid-major is the right spot for you, just with your size. And my quote growing up was heart over height. So yes, they can judge my height, but they can't judge how much heart I have for the game. So mid major was ultimately the spot I wanted to go to, and UNI, it was close to home. I'm from Des Moines, obviously. My parents could come to my games, my family, friends. Fell in love with the campus. I knew players who were present playing then, and then Cable Lauby was committed at the time. And then soon after Emerson Green and then Grace. So I'm like, we're building a family here. So it was just unbelievable to be a part of. And Coach Warren is a point god herself. So that's what I
Yeah.
like to call her. But from Creighton. So I was just learning from the best. Carly Rucker was the point guard in front of me. Jackie Caitlin. They just had such rich traditions around the point guard position. So I thought this was the place for me, and I was really excited about it. They had the major. I graduated with a bachelor's in digital media leadership. So they had the major I wanted, and it all worked out, and I'm really happy. But in terms of Caitlin, I didn't really talk to Iowa State, or I had a phone call with Iowa once. They were pretty set on Caitlin, which made complete sense. Caitlin would fit their offense, and obviously, look what she's done for that program. So they were just completely honest with me, and just said we have a good chance of getting Caitlin. I'm like, that's completely fine. I have my heart set on UNI, but I appreciate their honesty. And I spent days playing with Caitlin in soccer, and we dominated together. So that was kind of our playing time together. But as far as basketball, we played with each other in AAU, and then she went to the USA team with like Haley Van Lith, and
Right.
I became their point guard for that group that got second in Nike Nationals. Unfortunately, we lost to Angel Reese's team. I'll never forget that. But I played with Caitlin a good amount. But yeah, just learning from her and seeing her at that next level in the WNBA is really awesome.
It is pretty
Right.
cool, and it was never meant to be. It sounds like, but as fellow Panthers, we're glad you chose UNI.
Yeah, let's go Panthers.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to make sense for you, right? You got to put yourself in an opportunity to where you can grow and have the most success, and
Absolutely.
obviously put yourself in the right culture. And if you're averaging 26 points a game this year,
Gosh, you guys tell me. I don't
Oh
even
yeah,
know.
that's what ESPN's telling me, and
Okay.
I've heard from inside sources. We work with a gal named Emma Criswell, who's one of your biggest fans, and she said that at one point you've said you're too short for the NBA, WNBA, and they have you listed at 5'6". They say that you're scoring 26 points a game. I don't know. That sounds like WNBA numbers to me.
I mean, yeah, I don't know if I said I was too short, but I think I said something along. I like Emma. She's great. She's fantastic. My words, if I said too short, what I meant to say was my size. So I I do think I'm small on the smaller end, which I think in turn would hurt me at a bigger level. Now, it's not saying I can't go play overseas or give the WNBA a shot, but yeah, I would say the size would hurt me. And more so, I do think I am potentially ready to move on with basketball. I don't know if um now that's not saying I can't go play a couple more years and then be done.
Sure.
I just, my heart's kind of been set on just getting a, fun fact, medical sales job. That's what I
Okay.
want to get into. My mind is set on that right now. I shouldn't say my heart, but my mind is set on kind of being done. But you never know what happens. You never know what the future holds. So, yeah, I mean, I'm off to a good start, but it's not where you start, it's where you finish. So
That's
we'll see.
100%.
Yeah, you definitely got a long season rest ahead of you here. You guys are heading off to the Virgin Islands
Yeah,
this week.
We leave. Yeah, we leave for tomorrow at 2 Des Moines. We get a hotel in Des Moines, and then we leave super early out of Des Moines to Charlotte on Tuesday morning, and then we'll fly from Charlotte to the Virgin Islands. So we're so excited. This is gonna be a great trip for us.
Yeah, what a fun time. Do you guys have anything planned, fun activities planned down there outside of basketball?
Actually, not. We have a Thanksgiving dinner for Thanksgiving as a
Okay.
team. My parents are already out there, so some of our families are going, so we'll be able to see them. But for us, we love to call it a business trip. We've been successful in the past of um, we've been to Hawaii, Cancun. We've been pretty successful in the past on these trips, and I think it's just because we're so focused and so disciplined, knowing that there's a beach outside, but there's also work that's got to be put into the gym there. So we like to take care of business first. We have 3 games back to back to back, which is hard on your body. I'm a fifth year, so I'm getting old. Got to take care of my body. Got to treat and eat right. So yes, I would say if we get those 3 wins, I there could be like a potential boat ride at the end. I think I know of. So other than that, I think we're really focused on like making sure we take one game at a time.
Yeah, that's definitely the mentality you want, especially coming from a big victory. You don't want to sit there and soak on it.
Right.
You want to put that in the past, learn from it, and just keep playing ball, keep the momentum
Yeah.
going. So that's reassuring
Exactly.
to hear for us fans that you guys are in the right state of mind.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Right? Should we hop into some questions for her?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get to the fun stuff.
All
All
right,
right.
let's do it.
I'm going to hit you with this right away. Is UNI the windiest place in the world?
Winniness? Like what is
Windiest.
windiest? Oh, yeah, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say so. I mean, I was like getting blown away the other day walking to class, and I'm like, I can't even handle this. I don't have time for this right now. Can't even hear I was wearing headphones. I couldn't even hear my music because it was so windy.
I
So yes, my answer is yes.
Yeah, I've seen reports saying that Northwestern is the windiest campus in the world because it's right up there in Lake Michigan. The UNI is actually the second
Mm,
windiest, and I've always backed that up. So I used to live in Dancer, and every time coming back from the REC, I swore there was like a tornado vortex right outside Bender. I don't know if you've
There
been
is.
a victim of it,
yes.
but it's there.
I'm not a victim, but I will say, like last week, it was very bad. Like it was cold too, so that just makes it worse. Ugh. But
Yeah, that
yes.
that time of the season's coming, so I'm hoping you're bundled up for
Ugh.
that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I used to play all the time at the intramurals, right? And I sprained my ankle one year, right? Of course, one of my 15 sprained ankles, and I milked it so bad that I got a handicap parking,
There
and
you
it
go.
was the biggest flex I've ever had in my entire life. And I milked it for as long as I could. I think I got it for about a month. But what an advantage to have there, especially at
It
UNI.
is. Oh, no kidding. I do not like the parking here. I will say that.
So Nate and I were both in the towers. Where did you spend your first couple of years on campus?
Norin, and now I
Okay.
live on Brookside.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that walk
Yeah.
from north side of the dome to the towers was no fun.
Yeah. Is that where the tunnel is? The underground tunnel?
It is. Yep.
Did you guys take that?
For as long as
I
we
sh-
could.
I always went
And
over.
it's
I
like,
always went over the road on Hudson,
oh,
worked
over.
just
Yeah.
north of the
Oh.
tunnel. I should have
Yeah.
took the tunnel more.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, do you have any hobbies outside of basketball?
Um, I would say I like to just chill, listen to music. I'm a very big. Ooh, I got a question for you guys. I would say I'm a very big. I either binge watch a TV show or I watch a movie. I'm not really like start a new show or like I'll binge watch stuff that I already know or watch a
Fair.
movie. So if I'm sitting down, binge watch Stranger Things, but I've already seen it, and then I'll watch a movie. Like
Okay.
it's either one or the other. Are you guys like TV show or movie when you're putting on the TV?
I My wife has watched everything that's ever came on Netflix. She's watching something right now. It's ridiculous. I have terrible ADHD.
Yep.
I really need to love something in order for me to watch it. Stranger Things is
Mm,
one of my all-time favorite seasons. So I'm
there you go.
pacing around waiting for this new season to come out. I don't know if they're ever going to
Me
announce
too.
it. It's getting
Me too.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
they're getting
getting
so old.
ridiculous.
They're going to be
It's
like
gonna be
35 by the
ridiculous.
time they release it.
They're like, yeah, no kidding. No, I'm the same exact way. It's like I have to be, and it took me a while to get into Stranger Things too, believe it or not, because I'm like, I do not want to watch this new show. Loved it. But what about you?
Me or Nate?
You.
Um, so me and my fiance have very different tastes in shows. When we can find something together, it's great. So we stick to like the Outer Bankses, the Stranger Things. My personal favorites are like Peaky Blinders, Breaking Bad, pretty much anything with like a strong male role that's doing some slinging of drugs. Usually, I don't know why. It just seems to be in that world.
Have you seen Power?
I have. I love Power.
I
Big fan.
want to get into to Power. I like All American too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
kind of those basic shows. People say, fun fact, people say my dad looks like the guy in Breaking Bad, the bald dude.
Walter
Bryan
White?
Cranston.
Oh
Oh
gosh, I
no,
don't
no,
know.
Hank.
It's the old bald dude. Let me see if I can find a picture.
Like the main character?
Breaking Bad cast. Okay, I've never seen Breaking Bad, but everyone's like, your dad looks like Walter White, I think is his
Yeah,
name.
Yeah.
Bryan
Yeah, the
Cranston.
main character.
Yeah, that's him. That's people say that my dad looks like him.
Is your dad chem teacher?
He's not a chem teacher, but my parents used to live in Hawaii, and he was a math teacher.
Okay, yeah, there's some
So maybe,
similarities there.
yeah, there you go.
I have to keep a close eye on him. Have you seen Squid
Yeah,
Games?
I never
Great
watched
show.
it. Was too scared.
Oh, okay. Well, because I was just bringing that up because I know the second season's coming here the day after Christmas.
Oh,
And that's
really?
about
I'm
Oh,
ready
no
for that.
outside
kidding.
of Stranger Things. That's like the one thing I can sit down and watch the entire
When
time.
does the new Stranger Things come out?
I've been Googling it for the last every other week for
Mm.
the last 2 years. There's no clear answer out there, which is so frustrating
Same,
because it's like a 3-year gap going on by the time
same
the
with
next one comes.
Euphoria. I don't know if you guys heard of Euphoria, but I'm a big fan, so
Yes,
that's a good one.
loved it. I don't think that one's coming back out, is it?
You know, that's the rumor I heard. Devastating,
Yeah,
because
Zendaya
it
is
was
so good in that.
good.
Ugh.
So good. She's unbelievable. She's one
Yeah,
of my
yeah, I'm glad you
favorites.
brought that up because that's actually one of my favorite. That's Nate and I actually did a top 25 list of our favorite TV shows, and when people ask me on the spot, I never know, so I made the list. But Euphoria is on my top 10.
What's your top 5?
I got a few of them: Peaky Blinders, Game of Thrones, Succession, Mad Men, Ozark, Euphoria, Better Call Saul. Like I said, it's a lot of those similar
Yeah,
types of TV shows.
kind of have a theme going on. Yeah.
Yeah, predictable.
Nice. Yeah, nice.
Maya, what is your favorite arena you've ever played in? And maybe give a couple, maybe 2 or 3.
So in my conference, or it
Uh,
doesn't matter.
no,
Anything.
anything college, yeah.
I loved Hilton last year
Yep.
because my sophomore year I didn't get much playing time, so I don't know. I didn't play. You know what I'm saying? But I still like
Mhm.
the arena, playing time or not. I like the arena. That's such a good question. That's such a good Murray State,
Okay.
Iowa State.
Good basketball history there.
McLeod is my number one, obviously. I like Illinois State actually. I like their lighting. I don't
That's
know,
like
it's
isn't that
weird.
like a big circle dome type of thing? Yeah.
That was a good one. I'm
And
trying to think of like
as a shooter,
good.
I was
does
gonna
that you
say,
feel better? Do you feel better about shooting in like circle arenas?
That's a good question because I would say yes. I would say yes. But I don't notice it a whole lot. But like if I were to be like put my stats, I feel like yes. Illinois
Okay.
State, I've always liked their gym with the circle. Hilton, Murray State, Illinois State. Drake is hard to play in, so I'm not gonna say them because it's hard. So I like
Little nap.
intern. Yeah. That's a really really good question. I'm trying to think of like bigger schools that I. Green Bay was pretty cool. I kind of liked their gym. They had really
yeah,
good fans. I would say the hardest are South Dakota State, Drake, Carver. Yeah, I would say those so far have been. Creighton's really hard to play at too.
Yeah, it's kind of those small arenas, but with the small loyal fan bases that really pack it in and really feel deafening,
Exactly.
right? They're on
Exactly.
top of you. Definitely adds a whole new level of environment to the basketball game.
Exactly. Because McLeod, I feel like it's big, but it's like it's not steep. It's outward.
Right.
Right.
It kind of spreads out a little bit. Yeah, I
Exactly.
totally get.
When it's like nap center and it's kind of like so steep, you feel exactly what you said. Same with South Dakota State. You feel like they're kind of like on top of you.
Yeah, a little claustrophobic feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
Final question here before we get into, we're going to be drafting today, people. We're going to be drafting our top 4 Cedar Falls restaurants. But the final question before we get into this, it deals with your last name. Is there any relation to Doug McDermott?
I get this question so much. It's
I know you do.
the best part about it is my brother Matt McDermott actually went to Creighton and graduated from Creighton. So like I have probably lied to a handful of people just for like laughs and giggles that
Yeah.
I am related to him, but I am not. I'm saying it right here. I'm not related to him.
Okay.
I've seen him before, been like standing right next to him, but I've never met him, and we are not related. No.
Good to clear that up.
Yeah, yeah.
It works though. I mean, both great basketball genes there, you know.
That's right.
He's from Ames. You're from the Metro.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
people's got to think there's a little tie to it. So how often do you
Yeah.
think you get that a year? That question.
Oh god, especially during basketball season, probably 20 times. Especially in
Okay.
my comments or other videos.
Yeah.
But basketball season, it's probably more than 20. But when I think about it, me saying no or not, it's like 20 times.
I believe it.
All right. Should we jump into our favorite restaurants of Cedar Falls?
Let's do it. I got them
Okay.
right here.
Okay, so we're gonna rank our top 4. We'll do a little snake draft here. So, Maya, you can start with your number 4. We'll go Bryce, me. I'll do number 3. We'll circle it back.
Nate, can I clarify a rule here? If we list one that may have been on your list, does that mean we have to cross ours off?
No,
Okay.
but if you have any honorable
Oh.
mentions out there too, you're good. Yeah, we're not. You can steal someone else's.
Okay.
So
Others
I'm
would be-
going 4 first, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, don't second guess it.
It's the only time we've got her
Whiskey
stumped.
Road.
Okay.
Whiskey Road.
That's where I got engaged.
Oh no way.
So it's-
When did
I-
you get
and
engaged? How
I
long
got
have you been married?
we got married in June. We got engaged
Nice.
not last March, but the March before, and I didn't put that in my top 4. If my wife listens to this, I'm done for.
Yeah, you're done for. What about you? You were engaged, you said? Or your fiance, I heard you say?
Yeah, we got engaged this fall, a couple months ago now in September in Utah.
How old are you guys?
I'm gonna be.
29.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're old. We don't look it, do we?
I will say
You-
you both look like you're 23, 24.
That's
Thank
gonna do
goodness.
some pros in the future.
That's, yeah, honestly, I love when people say they look like I'm 12 because I'm like, when I'm 30, I'm going to look like I'm 21. So keep it's a compliment.
We appreciate it. Bryce, what's your number 4?
George's, right across from Whiskey Road.
Ooh,
I always
good
want to say
one. That was
Whiskey
on
River,
mine.
but yeah, George just opened a breakfast spot across the way. That's an honorable mention that I'll not be able to name, but they have a great little breakfast going on too.
Nice.
Did you choose them for the food or more the environment?
There's like 2 things on the menu I actually like. I
Yeah.
love the environment.
Okay,
Glad
that's
you
exactly
called
what
that
I
out.
would pick them for too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that was clear. Number 4, give me Peppers. The old classic Peppers
go
Army.
wrong.
When their
Can't go wrong.
employees outnumber you 3-1, we call them the Peppers Army. You ever felt that overwhelming presence from all their workers there?
Absolutely. That I was
Yeah.
literally just there with some
Mhm.
friends, and I felt like she was asking us. No offense to the Peppers workers if they're listening, but I felt like they were asking us if we needed anything for every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, we're good.
The
Oh, we're
army is
still good.
strong.
We're good. Yeah, it's strong. It's good. It's good. That's a
Mhm.
good tip for them because I get everything I need.
I'm gonna follow us back with number 3, Sakura. I've kind of
That was on mine.
yeah. Oh shit, I'm sorry. I've always been a picky
okay.
eater my entire life. My wife was really kind of branched me out last year. We always get is it the hibachi chicken?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the hibachi.
Okay,
chicken.
okay. That's the only thing I ever get there. I love it. So
It's
good.
basic, and you know it's always going to be good.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong. Bryce, you
Give
got
me-
3.
Give me
Yep.
Mulligan's. The brick oven pizza.
I like that. It's a good one. Peppers and mulligans kind of go hand in hand. Like,
Yeah, it's
very
always
similar.
same.
I
Yeah,
always
very
feel like you're either Peppers Army or you're Mulligan's Army. So I've always
Yeah.
leaned the Peppers way.
Yeah. Yep. I used to work here as a bartender. Montage. So
So
I
good.
have loyalty to Montage all day.
Love
You used to work
montage.
there
So good.
while playing
I used
basketball?
to work there. Yeah, and I had to quit because I'm like, this is too
Yeah.
much. This is too much. But it was I worked like once or twice a week for like 3 hours. So yeah, I would just do it in the evening. So it was not bad, but it's better now that I'm done. But it was really cool. I got like 50% off food, and it was good. I
Oh,
would
Montage
that's
is
a
order a lot
so
of
good.
food. It was like I was working, but then like wasting my paycheck for their food. So it's like I was kind of getting the food for free. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I
yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Food's an essential
it's
part of life, especially if you enjoy what you're eating. So if you can get a discount
exactly,
on it, absolutely.
yeah,
Feast up.
exactly, exactly.
So I think you're gonna hit us now with your number two.
Oh yeah, snake us
I'm,
back.
I'm I can't decide what I want my number two to be. I'm gonna go greenhouse.
Oh,
I eat it, and then that's not. I don't know if you would consider that fast food, but I'm gonna go greenhouse because I get it probably once a week. I get this really good bowl, and it's just so good that I could eat it every week.
is that the
Where?
greenhouse off of the hill, kind of by the
Yeah,
bookstore?
that's
Okay.
that's right by campus. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That
that's
must
good
be
That's
stuff.
rare.
right there.
That must be new, or am I tripping?
It might be
Newish.
new. I think it might be new. Yeah.
Okay, I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I think like
Yeah.
right at the end of our college time, it was just getting put up, or maybe like when I moved back to Cedar Falls. I don't remember, but yeah, it's great. It's really good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a Montage cousin. I think they're owned by the same people. The Brown Bottle.
Yep.
Did some college graduation at the Brown Bottle. I have not been back since, but I'll remember, uh, a couple of those things for future reference when I got to do a date night because they always show out. It's good.
They're good.
We go there once a year. Usually that's for Valentine's Day, so it makes
Yep.
sense. Number two, the other place.
Oh,
If I,
shoot.
yep. And I can't decide which one I like more, the university one or the brand new one downtown Main Street. It depends what type of vibe I'm going for, you know?
Right.
If I'm about to go
Right.
out for a couple social beverages after,
Mm-hmm.
maybe I'll go downtown. But I'm just going for a good time, just chill with the family. I'm going to go to the one on University. Every time they come to town, we go to the OP.
Yeah. That's fire.
One of the
That's
best
fire.
things when the OP was still on the hill was OP Wednesday karaoke. That was like probably my favorite day to go out on the hill.
Yeah.
I miss that.
That's
Yeah.
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 We just went to the OP the other day. My in-laws were in town, and they just got done flying to the Waterloo Airport from Denver, and actually from Denver to Chicago to Waterloo. But anyways, I sent them to the wrong OP. So we're all
Oh
just
no.
waiting, like, where you
Oh,
guys at?
where you
And
guys
then,
at?
so I sent them on a nice detour throughout Cedar Falls, and we held the
There you
ground until they
go.
got there. But a little rookie
There you
mistake
go.
by me. My number
Rookie
one
mistake.
favorite restaurant in Cedar Falls is hands down Toads. The
Yeah.
environment, the food. I go there way too much. I love it. I don't know. There's no beating it in my opinion.
Love it.
It's a good one.
It's a
Good
staple.
one.
I've already been listed. Sakura is my number one. Hibachi, sushi, the whole thing. I'm in for it.
Boom. And I'm gonna go away. You guys, you said brown bottle, you said hibachi
Mm-hmm.
or sakura, and toads was up there for me too. So I'm veering away from repeating because I feel like we've all said
Yeah, we've crossed
really good
over.
ones, right? And I don't want to cross over. So on a good day, when I'm feeling kind of like a sweet treat, but also a meal, and this is like a new thing for me, but I don't know if you guys have heard of Tata Yaya. It's crepes and waffles.
Oh.
And that is it. I don't know if I would want to say it's my number one, but it's definitely top six without crossing over.
I'm pretty pumped that you said that because I've always seen the name. It sounds crazy, and now I'm gonna have to try it. The
You're gonna have to
official
try it.
Maya
It's
recommendation.
Tata Yaya.
Okay, I'm in.
I
It's
I do want to throw a
it's
quick honorable mention to Starbucks.
Yeah.
I
ooh,
love Starbucks.
that's fine. It's called like Cindy Lou's now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the one in Cedar Falls, but have you been to the new one in Waterloo?
I haven't been to the new one. Mm-mm.
That one's cool. That's a
Yep.
cool spot. He's got out there, and
Have
what's
you,
that? The Marriott Hotel.
Yep.
yeah. Have you heard of King Bucks?
Yeah,
Yes.
that
That's brand
brand
new.
new. Right in the old
That's a good
Burger King
honorable.
spot.
That's an honorable mention. And then I like Chad's actually after the win the other night. gave us some pizzas to celebrate the win. So shout out to
Funk.
Chad's.
I tried getting
So
Chad's
that,
pizza last night too, but they didn't deliver to my brother's place. So I was definitely thinking of them. Yeah,
oh,
solid pizza.
solid pizza.
I
It's
don't go there enough. I always kind of forget it. And
yeah,
every time I get it,
it's kind of secluded.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chad's a great dude. Does a lot of great marketing for them. Man, what a fun conversation. I appreciate you for taking the time. We went a little longer than we anticipated, but we had a
It's
little
all
fun
good.
today.
Yeah, this
And
was a great conversation. I love things like this. So
yeah,
Yeah, thanks for
one
spending
last
some
thing.
time with us.
One last thing before I let you go. This is driving me nuts with the bun you have going on right now. You,
bun.
yeah. Does anyone ever tell you look like Kelsey Plum?
I get
Oh, I can kind of see it, I
Skylar
guess.
Diggins more. I get Skylar
Okay.
Diggins more than Kelsey Plum. But Kelsey Plum, she plays in buns. I gotta have a ponytail. This
That's what
is
I'm
my
saying.
everyday hair.
Okay.
Yes, this is my everyday hair. So if you see me on campus, you see me just out and about, it's always gonna be the bun.
Okay.
It's
Kelsey Plum off the
I have
court, Skylar Diggins on the court.
exactly. It's hilarious because we have a girl on our team. Her name's Bree. She's number 23, and she is more of like the ponytail off the floor, and people think she's me because we look so much alike. So after the game, she said she had people coming up to her, and she was playing the part, and she was acting like she was
Oh
me. And
yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
I would
I'm
too.
like, what's the
I would too.
guy? I was giving her crap about it, but yes, it's like she looks like me more than I look like myself because she got that ponytail, and people recognize me with the ponytail in the games, and then she has the ponytail off the court. So it's just a funny joke we have. But yes, I'm always gonna do the bun. It's out of my face, out of the way. But no Kelsey Plum. I've heard that a couple times, but not as often as like Skylar Diggins.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you
Which
for
I don't
clearing
even
that
think
up.
I look like her either. But
Yeah, I don't know. The bun. It's the bun for me that gets me the Kelsey Plum
yeah,
vibe
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
I see it.
nice
I
and
see
tight.
it.
It's all good. Gives me a little bit of height too. Coach Warren's always like, "Why
There
don't
you
you wear that
go.
in games? You kind of got height."
There you go.
I'm like, it's gonna get hit with the ball and it's gonna go everywhere. And
And it's like the 6'7" dude, but 6'10" with his afro.
Yeah.
exactly,
Uh,
exactly.
it does add a little intimidation for sure. But
That's right.
again, Mike, thank you so much for hopping on. Wishing you guys safe travels down the Virgin Islands. Best of luck the rest of the season. Off to a great start. We're gonna be cheering, rooting you on.
Hey, thanks guys. I really appreciate this. This was a lot of fun. Good conversations, and let me know if you guys need anything. And have a good one, you guys. Have a good
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Nice to meet you. Good luck.
Thanks, guys.
Just west of the Mississippi.